All right, so you've probably played around with AI, and running a single agent, it's cool. But what about a whole team of them? Specialists, all collaborating right on your own machine. Now, that's where the magic happens. But it can also be a total mess. We're going to look at a tool that brings some serious order to that chaos. So yeah, just picture it for a second. You've got this whole squad of AI assistants, maybe an architect, a back-end dev, a front-end specialist, all of them working together on your project. And this isn't some sci-fi movie stuff. This is happening right now on developers' local machines. But as you can probably guess, that dream can turn into a nightmare fast. I mean, how do you even manage all those processes? How do you get them to talk to each other without writing a mountain of code? And, maybe the biggest question, how do you stop your computer from sounding like it's about to achieve liftoff because all your agents are just chewing through your CPU? So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about this local agent problem. Then we'll introduce this tool called Agent Runner. We'll get into how it uses something called the systemd conductor, and this really clever feature, wait time. Then we'll see the super simple workflow it creates, and wrap up with why any of this actually matters. Okay, let's get right to it. The solution to all this chaos? It's a project called Agent Runner, and its whole philosophy is about being simple and, well, elegant. So what is this thing? Well, think of Agent Runner as an orchestrator. Its job is to manage all your AI agents running locally. But here's the clever part. It doesn't reinvent the wheel. It piggybacks on a tool that's already at the heart of pretty much every modern Linux system, systemd. Oh, and it gives them a super simple way to talk to each other using a basic inbox. And you can really see that elegance in the config file. I mean, look at this. Your entire AI army is defined right here, in one simple file. We've got an architect, a backend engineer. Each one has its own inbox, a role, and the command to get it running. No more crazy, complicated startup scripts. It's all just right there. Okay, let's pull back the curtain and see how this thing actually works. Remember how I said it doesn't reinvent the wheel? Well, for managing all the agents, it uses systemd. Think of systemd as the conductor for your AI orchestra. It keeps everyone in time and playing their part. This is really the core idea behind the whole project. Each agent just runs as its own independent service under systemd. And what that means for you is you get all the good stuff that comes with standard system services, stability, logging, control, but you get it for your AI agents. It's brilliant. So, if you've ever worked with Linux services, managing your agents is going to feel totally normal. Systemctl start fires up the whole team. Need to stop just one agent? Simple. But the real game changer? It's the reload command. You can bring new agents online without bothering any of the others that are already busy working. That's huge. All right, so we've got a simple config and rock-solid management. But what about that whole computer fans sounding like a jet engine problem, that resource drain? Well, this is where we get to Agent Runner's secret sauce. It's a feature called wait time. This is the big challenge with running agents that are always on. If they're constantly running full throttle, your machine is just going to crawl. But if you shut them down after every task, you have to cold start them every single time, and you lose all that precious context and speed. So, yeah, how do you get the best of both worlds? Hey, remember this number from the config file earlier? 600. That's not just some random number, it's actually the key to this whole thing. So that 600 means 600 seconds, 10 minutes. Here's what happens. When an agent finishes its job, it doesn't just shut down. Nope, it goes into a low-power standby mode for 10 minutes. If a new task shows up in that window, boom, it's instantly ready to go. And it still remembers everything it was just working on. All that context is saved. But if nothing happens in those 10 minutes, it just gracefully shuts itself down. So you get that speed and persistence when you need it, and you save resources when you don't. It's the best of both worlds. All right, let's put all these pieces together and look at what the day-to-day workflow actually looks like. It's surprisingly simple and really powerful. I love this because it really shows the before and after. The old way, you're drowning in manual commands and crazy scripts. And your idle agents are just hogging resources. With Agent Runner, everything is handled by systemd. They talk with simple little files, and that wait time feature keeps everything efficient. It's just a cleaner, smarter way to work. And what if you need to add a new agent to the team? It's ridiculously easy. Say you need a front-end specialist. All you do is pop open that config file, add a new section for Agent C, create a folder for it, then you just run that one systemctl reload command. That's literally it. Your new agent spins up, and your other agents don't even skip a beat. The way they talk to each other is just as simple. There's no complicated message queue or anything. One agent just writes a simple JSON file and drops it in another agent's inbox. And since they all read that same config file, they already know who's who and where everyone's inbox is. The ground rules for how they talk are all laid out in one skl.md file. It's so straightforward and way easier to debug when something goes wrong. Okay, so for our last part, let's just zoom out for a minute. Why does a tool like this even matter? Well, it's all about trying to tame the wild complexity of AI systems. This quote from the creator, Dr. Leo, really says it all. The point isn't just to make another neat little tool. It's part of a bigger vision to hide all the complicated infrastructure stuff, to make this powerful technology something that can be used in the real world, not just in some giant data center, but by everyday developers. And what that really means at the end of the day is that Agent Runner is kind of democratizing this whole multi-agent AI thing. It means that basically anyone with a decent Linux box can start experimenting with really sophisticated, collaborative AI teams. You can build stuff, test things, innovate, all without a massive cloud budget or a PhD in distributed systems. It's all about putting that power back in the hands of the individual developer. Which really just leaves us with one final question to think about. When all that friction of managing a team of AI agents just goes away, when they can collaborate this easily, what does that make possible? What kind of problems are you going to solve when you can spin up an entire AI army with just a few commands?